This is what global warming looks like, opinion pieces quickly declared in both Politico and CNN about devastating Hurricane Harvey. A week later, news media around the globe and politicians were saying the exact same thing about Hurricane Irma. Jumping the gun on linking disasters to climate change is dangerous. It points us toward policies that will have little to no effect at reducing future devastation. The science is clear, but also nuanced. Climate change will worsen some extreme weather events, and it will improve others. An excellent peer-reviewed analysis in the journal Weather, Climate, and Society by University of Manchester scientists Vladimir Jankovic and David Schultz cites the work of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the United Nations Global Panel of Climate Change Experts, and find, not all extreme weather events will change, nor will some of the changes, if they even occur, be detectable. The researchers conclude, the soundbite of climate change means more extreme weather is a massive oversimplification, if not misstatement, of the true state of the science. Global warming, in general, will increase temperatures most during winter, at night and in cold places. Droughts are among the most costly natural disasters, but a comprehensive study in Nature shows that since 1982, examples of all drought categories have slightly decreased. Heat waves will increase, but cold waves will decrease. Because many more people die from excessive cold than excessive heat, it is likely that the amount of deaths will decline. As for hurricanes such as Harvey and Irma before Harvey, the USA just ended a record 12-year absence of strong hurricanes. Hurricanes are not hitting the U.S. more. Over the past 120 years, major hurricane landfalls have declined from 7.5 per decade to 5 per decade. A similar decline is also true for all hurricanes, and even true for the most ferocious Category 4 and 5 hurricanes. Storms are causing more damage, but it has long been documented that this is entirely explained by more people with more wealth living closer to coastlines where hurricanes hit. In Florida State and Broward counties alone, today we will find more people than lived in 1930 in all 109 coastal counties from Texas through Virginia, along the Gulf and Atlantic coasts. In the U.S. over the past century, the population has increased fourfold, but the coastal population has increased much more. In Florida, for instance, it has increased 50-fold. Unsurprisingly, with more people living in more expensive homes, there are higher damage costs. Adjusted for population and wealth, hurricane damage from 19 million in 2016 actually decreased. In fact, the 12-year absence of hurricanes is the equivalent to the United States being $70 billion better off than it otherwise would be from expected hurricane damage since 2006. The problem with blaming a disaster such as Harvey or Irma on global warming is that this tells us the answer should be a global warming answer: carbon cuts. And this is a terrible way of helping. Research shows that the Kyoto Protocol, the first major global deal to cut carbon and rain and temperatures, and, it would follow, help prevent hurricanes, failed to achieve a thing. The Paris Climate Treaty is on track to cost the globe about $1 trillion to $2 trillion per year for the rest of the century. The UN body responsible for the treaty estimates that the cuts promised until 2030 will achieve 1% of what would be needed to keep temperature rises under 2 Celsius, or 3.6 Fahrenheit. It is little wonder that a Royal Society report concludes that cutting CO2 has extremely limited potential to reduce future losses. To tackle climate change, a moderate carbon tax could help a little, but will not significantly reduce CO2 emissions. Instead, climate change will be tackled most effectively by investing in research and developing green energy sources to make them so cheap they will outcompete fossil fuels. That way, everyone will want to make the switch away from fossil fuels. Effectively tackling hurricane damage in rich countries is almost exclusively about reducing vulnerability. Through better zoning, we shouldn't allow houses to be built on floodplains or right on the coast. Better building codes, reducing federally subsidized insurance, and allowing for more wetlands and porous surfaces to handle flooding. For the world's poor and the hardest hit from hurricane damage, policies that reduce poverty are the most effective way of building resilience. These are the smart policies that would help the most. And this is what responding to hurricanes needs to look like. Bjorn Lomborg is director of the Copenhagen Consensus Center, author of The Skeptical Environmentalist, Cool It, and the Nobel Laureate's Guide to the Smartest Targets for the World 201,630, and a visiting professor at Copenhagen Business School.
Reader, share this story to dailier.co2